Welcome to Everything You Need to Know in 3 Minutes. I'm Michael Brooks. On Everything You Need to Know in 3 Minutes, I pick a topic, sometimes from politics, sometimes from pop culture, sometimes from media or technology, break it down for you, give you everything you need to know in 3. On this week's Everything You Need to Know, why is Bernie Sanders doing so well with millennial voters? 3 minutes starts now. So as the Democratic race for the nomination of the Democratic Party for the presidency of the United States heats up, one of the clearest stories emerging is that Bernie Sanders, who is the oldest candidate in the race for president, is doing exceptionally well with younger voters. As an example, in the Iowa caucuses, it was reported that he won by a 70% margin voters under 30. You can also see this in social media and on the internet, the whole feel the burn, the phenomenon of young people resonating with Bernie Sanders, really not only in terms of his policy, but also as a personality. But there's substantive reasons behind this that we need to get to, because the support for Bernie Sanders amongst millennials has been minimized. People who support Hillary Clinton have said that it's, quote, emotionally satisfying for people to vote this way. They've dismissed the energy, the enthusiasm, and the policy inclinations of millennials, and they framed it as an angry generation responding to an angry candidate. That's true in a certain sense, although this generation is right to be angry, and the solutions they're looking for are not simply about emotional satisfaction. Let's get to some numbers on this. Today, and this is according to Connor Lynch, he's citing research saying that 18 to 34-year-olds are among the best educated generation in American history. And I'll further the quote. 22.3% have bachelor's degrees, and they also have a lower median earnings adjusted for inflation than 18 to 34-year-olds did in 1980, when just 15.7% had a bachelor's degree, end quote. So millennials are living out the consequences of neoliberal policy in deregulation, in a financial crisis whose effects we are all feeling if we're not inside the top strata of the economic sphere, as well as heavy indebtedness, higher and higher bills for going to college, and the ability to start in the economy is much harder. Bernie Sanders is speaking directly to these issues and providing actual solutions. They may be hard policies to implement now because of the role of money in the system, but if we were just responding to things rationally, they would be the obvious answer. And millennials are looking for obvious answers. They're looking for sustainable and smart answers to the policy challenges they face, the realities they face. So it's as simple as that. That's why Bernie Sanders is doing so well with millennials, and that's why American politics is changing. And that's everything you need to know in 3 minutes.